Good
Good
morning,
morning,
everyone.
everyone.
This is
This is
Shah,
Shah,
Assistant
Assistant
Professor,
Professor,
Civil
Civil
Department,
Department,
Subject
Subject
Geotechnical
Geotechnical
Engineering,
Engineering 1, Unit 5, Consolidation, Introduction of the consolidation. When a compressive load is applied to soil mass, a decrease in its volume takes place. The decrease in volume of soil mass under the stress is known as compression, and the property of soil mass pertaining to its sustainability to decrease in volume under pressure is known as compressibility. A solid crystalline material like steel is deformed under stress by the relative distortion of the position of atoms in the molecular structure. However, soils are composed of the small solid particles not bonded together except by the small van der Waals forces and adsorb double layer water. When stress is applied to it, the elastic deformation of the solid particles is negligibly small compared to the deformation caused by the change in relative position of the discrete particles and resulting decreases in volume of voids. When the voids are filled with the air alone, compression of the soils occurs rapidly because air is compressible and can escape easily from the voids. In a saturated soil mass having its voids filled with incompressible water, decrease in volume or compression can be take place when water is expelled out of voids. Such a compression resulting from a long-term static load and the consequent escape of pore water is termed as consolidation. According to Tedgais, every process involving a decrease in the water content of a saturated soil without replacement of the water by air is called process of consolidation. The opposite process is called a process of swelling, which involves an increase in the water content due to the increase of the volume of voids. Compression of the soil also takes place by the explosion of air from the voids under the short duration moving or vibratory loads. Such a compression is usually known as compaction. The compression of the partially saturated soils is accompanied by the explosion and compression of air and its partially dissolution in water. Depending upon the degree of saturation, water may be also expelled out along with air. When compressive load is applied to the laterally confined load of sand, rapid vertical deformation occurs. The rate at which the deformation can be take place depends upon the permeability of the soil and able to reach a drainage surface. The compressibility of clays may be also caused three. The compressibility of the clays may air water slipping of the greater
bending of particles as elastic
elastic
sheets,
sheets,
the permeability of the clay being every
every
small
small
time is an important factor of the consolidation clays.
place.
The consolidation process is a
It
spring
is the
analogy.
spring analogy.
The
The
mechanics of
mechanics of
consolidation was
consolidation
demonstrated by
demonstrated by Tedjai,
by means of the Fister and
Stern, and
analogy. So here see the
see
figure
the figures.
here valve
All
open
open
and valve
and
partially open and valve closed. So here arrow directions
directions
horizontally
horizontally.
valve open. This is first
This
figure
first figure is
and
spring.
height is that knot and second spring
Second spring.
here load is
Here
applied
load is applied
and depth is
and depth is
used. This is the depth Z1. Then here water is
water is
formed in spring and depth is Z0. Here valve is
here
open. Here valve is
here wall is uh,
vertically.
vertically. In this wall open, sigma equal to 10. Similarly,
Valve
wall
closed
closed,
sigma
sigma
equal to
equal to
sigma
sigma
bar
bar
plus
plus
U
u.
and
And
wall
wall
is
is
inclined.
inclined.
It is the
It
wall
is the wall
partially
partially
open.
open.
The depth
The
is
depth is z
dash
dash.
and
And
finally wall is
finally wall
open.
is open.
Here sigma
Here
equals
sigma equals
dash.
sigma dash plus u bar.
The spring with the
The spring
piston
with
on
the
the top.
piston on
Let
the
the
top.
length of spring
Let the length of
does
spring
not
be
under the
z
pressure
naught
of
under the
10.
pressure of 10
If
units.
volume
If
pressure
volume
are
pressure
added to the
are
its
added
top,
to the its
the
top,
spring will
the
be
spring will be
compressed
compressed
immediately
immediately
to the length
to the length
Z1.
Z1.
A further
A
application
further
of the load
application of
will
the
be
load will
result
be
in
result
further
in further
decrease
decreases
in
in
length
the
of
length of
the
the
spring.
spring.
Within
Within
elastic
elastic
limit,
limit,
the
the
load
load
deflection
deflection
curve
curve
may
may
be
be
assumed
assumed
to
to
be
be
straight.
straight.
If
If
the
the
spring
spring
and
and
piston
piston
is
is
placed in
placed in
cylinder
cylinder
containing
containing
water
water
up to
up to the
the
bottom of the
piston
piston
and the
and the
valve
valve
is
at its
water,
bottom,
water
water will be
free
free
of
of
stress.
stress since
The
the
whole
whole
load is
load is
carried by
carried
the
by the
spring
spring
alone.
alone.
If the
If the
pressure on
pressure
the
on the
piston
piston
is
is
increased
increased
to
to
12
12
units
units
and the
and the
valve is
valve is
closed,
closed,
spring
spring
cannot
cannot
deform
deform
since
since
water
water
is
is
incompressible.
incompressible.
Hence,
Hence,
the
the
additional
additional
pressure
pressure
of
of
2
2
units
units
entirely
entirely
borne by
borne by
water.
water.
If
If
sigma
sigma
denotes
denotes
the
the
total
total
pressure,
pressure,
sigma
sigma
the
the
pressure
pressure
in
in
spring
spring,
and
and
u
U
bar
bar
is
is
the
the
pressure
pressure
in
in
water.
water,
Means
means
core
core
pressure.
pressure, that is
The
the
governing
governing
equation
equation
given
given
by
by
12
12
equal
equal
to
to
10
10
plus
plus
2,
2,
then
a
total
total
police
police
units
units
pressure
pressure
that
that
equals
equal
10
10
units
units
plus
plus
2
2
units
units
are
are
sigma
sigma
equal
equal
to
to
sigma
sigma
dash
dash
plus
plus
u
U
bar.
bar.
Sigma
Sigma
means
means
total
total
pressure
pressure
all
per
units.
units.
Sigma
Sigma
dash
dash
is
is
the
the
10
10
units
units
pressure
pressure
and u
and U
bar
bar
is
is
the
the
additional
additional
2
2
units
units
pressure.
pressure.
This
This
is
is
equation
equation
1.
1.
Now
Now
let the
let the
valve be
valve be
opened
opened
slightly
slightly
so
so
that
that
some
some
water
water
escapes
escapes
and
and then
valve
valve
is
is
closed.
closed.
Due to
Due to
the
the
escape
escape
of
of
some
some
water,
water,
the
the
piston
piston
moves
moves
down,
down,
the
the
spring
spring
is
is
compressed
compressed
and
and
hence
hence
some
some
pressure
pressure
out
out
of
of
pressure
pressure
of
of
2
2
units
units
entirely
entirely
borne by
borne by
water.
water. is now transformed to the spring. Thus, at any intermediate stage, the pressure equation becomes 12 units equal to 10 units plus delta sigma dash plus 2 minus delta sigma dash. This is equation 2. When delta sigma dash is the transfer of pressure from water to the spring corresponding to the given amount of explosion of water. If the valve is fully opened, sufficient water will be escaped till the length of spring is reduced to the height of jet burst. Thus, the whole of 2 units of pressure is transferred from the water of the spring. The water becomes free of pressure and spring carries the whole pressure. The pressure equation at this stage becomes 12 units pressure equal to 12 plus 0 or sigma equal to sigma dash plus u bar. Thus, we see that when there is the pressure increment, the whole of pressure is first taken by water. As the water escapes out of system, the load transfer takes place from the water to the spring till the spring is deformed by the full amount of corresponding to the applied stress increment. This analogy can be applied to the consolidation process of the soil mass consisting of soil water system. The grain structure represents by the spring, while the whites filled with the water represent the cylinder. The valve opening is represented by the permeability of the soil mass, and the rate of load transfer from water to soil depends upon the permeability and the boundary conditions, that is, the drainage spaces available. The pressure that builds upon pore water due to the load increment on the soil is termed excess pore pressure or excess hydrostatic pressure or hydrodynamic pressure U bar, because it is in excess of initial pressure in water under static condition. Next one is the consolidation of laterally confined soil. If a remolded soil is laterally confined in a consolidator consisting of metal ring and porous stones are placed both at its top and bottom faces. The compression or consolidation of the soil samples takes place under a vertical pressure applied on the top of porous stones. The porous stones provide free drainage of water and air from or into the soil sample. Under given applied pressure, a final settlement and equilibrium White's ratio is attained after certain time. At the equilibrium stage, the applied pressure naturally becomes the effective pressure sigma bar on the soil. The pressure can be increased and new equilibrium White's ratio is attained. Thus, the relationship can be obtained between effective pressure sigma dash and the equilibrium White's ratio is E. It is generally called as White ratios. In the form of curve as shown in figure, at any intermediate stage at point B, when sigma dash equal to 300 kilonewton per meter square, The pressure is completely removed. The sample expands as represented by the expansion curve BC. So here see the curve B, C. It is curve expansion curve. It is B point acting at x-axis. The value of effective pressure 300 kilonewton per meter square or kilopascal. And y-axis acting the Voigt's ratio E. During expansion, the sample never attains the virginal Voigt's ratio because of some permanent comparison, mainly due to the some orientation undergone by the soil particles under compression. The soil again put under the compression and a recompression curve such as a CD. So here see the graph C2D is recompression means expansion curve and A to B is the virgin compression curve and also C2D curve is recompression in same point B and D same points at 300 kilonewton meter effective pressure. So the Voigt ratio D being always less than that the at B and the same pressure of 300 kilonewton per meter square. On further pressure increments, the curve D is obtained. The portion of AB is of the curve represents compression of soil which has not been subjected in the past of pressures greater than those which the being applied the present compression. Such as a curve is called virgin compression curve. The curve D also virgin curve is the T2E. E point is acts at 800 kilonewton per meter square in effective pressure. See the graph.
Pressure Voigt's ratio.
Curve for remodeled specimen. And also similar graph plot of pressure Voigt's ratio relationship. Here x-axis log sigma dash and y-axis Voigt ratios E. Here x-axis 0 to 20, 30 up to 1000 and y-axis value is 0.3 to 1.1. Here see the B2C is the recompression curve, this line, and C2D is the expansion curve, and D2E is the slope CC, means its curve is the virgin compression curve. The straight line portion of the virgin compression curve can be expressed by the following empirical relationship given by the Terjai. E equal to E means Voigt ratio equal to E naught minus Cc log of 10 sigma bar by sigma naught bar, where E naught equal to initial Voigt ratio corresponding to the initial pressure sigma dash and E equal to Voigt ratio of the increased pressure sigma dash, and also Cc equal to compression index means the compression index represents the slope of linear portion of the pressure Voigt's ratio curve and remains constant within fairly large range of pressure. So from equation, this equation C is equal to E naught minus E by log of sigma dash by sigma naught dash, that equal to delta E by delta log of sigma dash. So this equation may be written as delta equal to CC log of sigma naught dash plus delta sigma dash divided by sigma naught dash. The expression curve is also fairly straight line on the semi-log plot and is expressed by the E naught equal to E plus CS log of sigma dash by sigma naught dash, where C is the expression or swelling index. It is measured of the volume increases due to the removal of pressure. SCHEMTEM 1944 is conducted on consolidation test in number of clays from the different parts of the world. The gave following equation for the compression index of the remolded sample. Then C is equal to 0.07 into WL minus 10%. For an ordinary clay of medium to low sensitivity, the value of CC is corresponding to the field consolidation line is roughly equal to 1.3 times of value of CC corresponding to the remolded sample, and CC equal to 0.009 into WL minus 10%. Here WL is the liquid limit. And of 1957 gave the following equation for the pre-compressed soils. CC equal to 0.3 into E naught minus 0.27, where here E naught equal to in situ void ratio. Next one is the coefficient of compressibility, AB. The coefficient of compressibility is defined as the decrease in void ratio per unit increase of pressure. Then AB equal to minus delta E by delta sigma dash, that equal to E naught minus C divided by sigma dash by minus sigma naught dash. For the given difference in pressure, the value of coefficient of compressibility decreases as the pressure increases. Next one is the coefficient of volume change, MV. The coefficient of volume. Mhm. Best pattern. Mm. Written. The coefficient of volume change or the coefficient of volume compressibility is defined as the change in volume of soil per unit of initial volume due to the given unit increase in the pressure with the oil. MV equal to minus delta E by 1 plus C naught into 1 divided by delta sigma dash. Substituting minus delta E by delta sigma dash equal to AB, we get MV equal to AB by 1 plus E naught. When the soil is laterally confined, the change in volume of proportional to the change in the thickness delta H, and the initial volume is proportional to the initial thickness H naught. Hence MU equal to minus delta H by H naught. Delta H is the thickness and H naught is the initial thickness. Thus the change in thickness delta H due to the pressure increment in given by delta H equal to minus MU into H naught into delta sigma dash. Here the sign is negative in the above equation simply denotes the voids ratio is or thickness decreases with the increase in the pressure. Next one, consolidation settlement. Consolidation settlement can be completed by 2 methods. First method is the using coefficient of volume change, and second method is the using
wide ratio. So first method is the final settlement using coefficient of volume change. The consolidation settlement rho f when the soil stratum of thickness h has fully consolidated under the pressure increment delta sigma dash is given by rho f equal to mu.
rho f equal to mu into h into delta sigma dash. This is the assumption that the pressure increment is transmitted uniformly over the thickness h. However, in practical cases under the finite surface loading, the intensity of delta sigma dash decreases with the depth of layer in a non-linear manner. In such circumstances, the consolidation settlement delta rho f of the element of thickness dz is calculated under the average of effective pressure increment delta sigma dash by the delta rho f equal to mu into delta sigma dash into dz. Integrating for the total thickness h of the layer, rho f equal to integration of 0 to h mv into delta sigma dash into dz, in which both mu and delta sigma dash are variables. The integration may be performed numerically or graphically. The numerical integration may be performed by dividing the total thickness h into the number of thin layers and delta sigma dash at the mid height of the each layer may be considered to represent a constant average pressure increment for the layer. The settlement for each layer can be calculated the above equation. The total settlement of the layer thickness h will be the equal to the sum of individual settlements of the various thin layers. Next one is the final settlement by the wide ratio. It is the second method. The final settlement rho f can be also be computed from the following relationship: delta h by h, that equal to E naught minus E by 1 plus E naught, or rho f equal to delta h equal to E naught minus E by 1 plus E naught into capital H. It is the thickness, and in first case, normally consolidated soils. Compression index for the normally consolidated soil is constant. Hence, substituting the value of E naught minus E is in terms of Cc. Rho f equal to h into Cc by 1 plus C naught log of sigma dash by sigma naught dash. It is the normally consolidated soils. And second one is the pre-consolidated soils. Final settlement is small in case of pre-consolidated soils, as the recompression index or swelling index CS is very small in comparison to the CC. Now E naught minus E equal to CS log of sigma dash by sigma naught dash, where sigma dash equal to sigma naught dash plus delta sigma. Hence, rho f equal to CS by 1 plus E naught into H into log of sigma dash by sigma naught dash. The above equation is applicable when sigma dash is smaller than the pre-consolidation pressure sigma dash P. If the pre-consolidation pressure sigma dash P is greater than sigma dash but smaller than sigma dash, then final settlement is computed in two parts. One part is the settlement due to the pressure sigma naught dash to the sigma p dash using CS. And second one is the settlement due to the pressure sigma p dash to sigma dash using CC. Thus, rho F equal to sigma CS by 1 plus C naught into H into log of sigma P dash by sigma naught dash plus CC by 1 plus E naught into H into log of sigma dash by sigma P dash. This is the two settlement computed parts equation. Next one is the consolidation of the undisturbed specimen. Soil deposits may be divided into three classes as regards to the consolidation history: pre-consolidated, normally consolidated, and third one is the under-consolidated. A clay is said to be the pre-compressed, pre-consolidated, or over-consolidated if it has ever been subject to a pressure in excess of its present overburden pressure. The temporary overburden pressure to which soil has been subjected to the and under which got consolidated is known as pre-consolidation pressure. A soil may have been pre-consolidated during the geologic past by weight of an ice sheet or glacier which has melted away, or by the other geologic overburden and structural load which no longer exist now. A normally consolidated soil is one which has never been subject to an effective pressure greater than the existing overburden pressure and which is also completely consolidated by the existing overburden. A soil which is not fully consolidated under the existing overburden pressure is called under consolidated soil. So here we see the figure pre-consolidation pressure. Here vertically acting wide ratio E and horizontal from the effective pressure sigma dash. Here radius is R minimum and A point, A to B and A to C and also A to D. Here is point is force P acting. This is the stress sigma dash P. It is the effective pressure. Next one is the determination of the pre-consolidation pressure. To find the pre-consolidation pressure, an undisturbed sample of the clay is consolidated in the laboratory and the pressure avoids. The wide ratio relationship is plotted on a semi-log plot. The initial portion of the curve is flat and resembles the decompression curve of the remolded specimen. The lower portion of the curve, which is straight line, is the laboratory virgin curve. The approximate value of the pre-consolidation pressure sigma p dash may be determined by the following empirical method of yield. The point A of maximum curvature, it is minimum radius, is selected and horizontal line AB is drawn. A tangent AC is drawn to the curve and the bisector AD. Bisecting the angle BAC is drawn. The straight portion is virgin curve is extended back to meet the bisector AD in P. The point P corresponds of the pre-consolidation pressure sigma P dash. So here see the pre-consolidation pressure. A to B, this tangent line is the A to D. This curve is the virgin curve.